What's up, you guys? So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 10 niche fragrances that you must buy for this fall. Now, seeing as there are so many niche fragrances that are constantly being put out on the market, this video is to give you some clarity on the 10 that are the best. Now, if these videos interest you, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe down below. But everybody, let's get into it. Now, the first fragrance that I have on this list is going to be quite similar to something else that costs a lot more money. It's louder, it lasts longer, and in my opinion, it smells better. Now, some people say that this fragrance has, a bit too fruity of an opening, it's a bit too piercing, but in the grand scheme of fragrances that are meant for the cold weather months, it's something that you want. You want something that's loud, something that projects, something that can push through the cold weather. Number 10 on this list is going to go to Instant Crush by Mancera. Now, this is what I have here, guys. I don't have the full bottle. This is what I have, this little sample here from myfragrancesamples.com. 2 sprays of this fill up an entire room. It's sweet, it's seductive, it's unisex. It's not something that's gonna be, super hyper masculine or anything like that, but the dry down this fragrance is when the masculinity starts to really, show place. The opening is very sweet, it's very inviting. It's when the compliments from this fragrance come into play. This being found at around $90, and what it's similar to is gonna run for upwards to $300, $400, and is an absolute all-star for the colder weather. Now, number 9 on this list is one of my most recently acquired fragrances, but I was blown away by my initial impression of this fragrance. It's chocolatey, it's gourmand, it's just so pleasant, and it smells great in the air. Now, sometimes in my experience, gourmands can be kind of difficult to wear, seeing as I'm used to wearing things like Dior Sauvage or your YSLY, your general blue fragrances. But come with the wintertime, you're gonna want to wear something that is a bit more challenging, not something that's gonna be as simple to wear. This fragrance, in my opinion, is a great entry-level fragrance for somebody who's not into gourmand, somebody that's used to wearing something that's a bit easier or more general kind of fragrance to wear. Number 9 on this list is going to go to Insomnia Parfum. There are not many fragrances that are this dark in color that I would like to wear, because typically when I see something like this, I think of super oud heavy fragrance. But guys, the darkness of this juice here is coming from the chocolate and the gourmand notes. Now, some have compared this to Black Phantom by Kilian. And again, guys, this is gonna be much more affordable than the by Kilian. This is gonna be one that you can go light on the sprays with. Not that it's super loud or anything, but just that initial spray, the 2 sprays that you put on yourself, are gonna last forever. This will be on your skin and on your clothing until you wash it off. It doesn't just wear off. Like 10 hours into the wearing of this, you'll still get whiffs of it. And once that initial chocolate kind of dials down, you're gonna get some like cinnamon, rum, vanilla, and patchouli, which makes it very masculine gourmand. The downside is that it comes from Switzerland. The shipping on this is a bit difficult. It took me like 3 to 4 weeks to get this in the mail. Which, guys, if you are looking to get this, just be fully aware that it's gonna take 1 long time, and 2, there are some difficulties with getting this, from Switzerland to here right now, seeing as the world climate right now. But again, guys, that is Insomnia. And now, next on this list is gonna be one of the most beautifully created fragrances that I've ever smelled. It's high quality, it lasts, it projects. With main notes of cognac, benzoin, and vanilla, you get Creation E by Rocher Parfums. Now, guys, this is Creation E, the Parfum Cologne. So they have this in the extrait, and it's also called Enigma in other countries. But here in the US, this is what you'll find. You'll find the Creation E Parfum Cologne. This is a phenomenal scent, guys. The opening is very reminiscent to Coca-Cola, maybe root beer-esque. It's sweet. It's intoxicating in a sense. You can smell the boozy notes, you can smell the vanilla, you can smell stuff that's super inviting. And in terms of performance, this is on par with the Insomnia. You're gonna get 7 to 9 hours out of it, and that's a long time. This is gonna be a fragrance that you're gonna wanna wear with a tuxedo out to some grand event, really. Even though it could be the fragrance that you put on for for daily wear, it's gonna really shine in the event setting. Again, guys, that is Creation E Parfum Cologne. And number 8 on this fragrance is gonna come from the house of Creed. But it's not going to be the Creed that you probably think it's going to be. This is going to be one that has a tobacco note in it that's very authentic. It's like a tobacco leaf. It's not going to be like your carton of cigarettes kind of tobacco. It's going to be very inviting. It's going to be almost mature. It's masculine. It's elegant. It's classy. It's the kind of fragrance that you're going to want to wear on like an evening out in the fall, where you're going to want to make a statement. You're going to want to be the best smelling person in the room, and not necessarily in regards to getting compliments, because it's not going to be that kind of massive pill kind of fragrance. This is going to be one that it has a personality to it. Creed Temper Room. And it's just so inviting and clean. It's very clean for being a tobacco scent. It's like a fresh take on a tobacco fragrance. It's like taking Creed Green Irish Sweet and adding a prominent tobacco note. So yes, very clean, but you definitely get the natural tobacco leaf that's there. Now, the performance of Creed Tabaron is going to run in line with the other Creed. So the projection, longevity is not going to be the best, but for while it is there, it's going to be very high quality. It's not very nice. I would recommend this for anyone who is a big fan of fresher fragrances while also being a fan of tobacco scents. Now, number 6 on this list is going to be for those who are a big fan of the presentation of fragrances. If you're on the side of fragrances that are meant to be artistic in sense of their creation, not only in the scent but also in the display, this one should pique your interest. It's also a surprisingly fresh fragrance. With main notes of tonka bean, mandarin, and musk, you get Kajal Om. Guys, this is hands down one of the best looking bottles in my collection. Back here, you can see it's just so detailed here, guys. Cap here. Now, all the caps are meant to mimic some sort of flower. Not sure which one this is supposed to be like. So in the opening of this fragrance, you're gonna have your grapefruit and your orange. Now that grapefruit and the orange does not wear off for a long time with this scent. But the opening to mid of the fragrance is really what is the most interesting part of the fragrance. It goes from super bright and super inviting to something that is a bit more masculine while keeping that freshness from the opening. This is a very, very high quality scent. Now this can be found at Max Aroma for about $185 for this size bottle here. But as I say mostly for all these niche fragrances, I highly suggest being able to decant before you go out and spurge on a full bottle. Now I do have someone that goes by Louisiana Fragrance that always comes in my videos. What's up, man? Now as soon as I learn how to decant this fragrance, man, I will gladly send you a decant of it. But for everyone else, if you're looking for getting this fragrance, I highly suggest getting a decant. Especially right now, it's so inviting. It's such a great fall evening scent. It's gonna be great for a cooler weather day, not for the evening. Mostly because it is that bright. It is that bright and so inviting. And number 5 on this list is also gonna go to the house of Mancera. Now this fragrance is gonna be one of their best, if not their best fragrance that they have. With main fruity notes, cedarwood and lemon, you get Cedrat Boisé. So the fruity nuances and notes of this that I can compare to would be like in the air would be like Fruit Loops. The dry down, you're gonna have a woody base. So in the air, you're gonna smell like Fruit Loops, guys. This is it's different, it's unique. It's very, very high complimented. The fruity notes are so loud, it's so inviting. The lemon there is a bit sharp, it is a bit piercing, which I can see why it's compared to certain things like Juventus, just because that citrus note is so loud. And in terms of pricing, this can be found for about $90, sometimes even cheaper. So if we're comparing it to things like Juventus, this can be found for like 1/3 the cost. And again, guys, that is Cedrat Boisé by Mancera. Now, number 4 on this list is going to be an all-star of a winter fragrance. It's known for its notes of vanilla, cardamom, and apple. With that, you're going to get Parfums de Marly Latent. So guys, like the others that are on this list, it's going to be such a loud projector. This is one that you don't want to wear to work. You don't want to wear this one to anywhere that's going to be a professional kind of event, unless you're outside or outdoors. It's going to be great for the outdoor events. Maybe even date settings if sprayed appropriately, like lesser sprays, because it is loud, it is in your face. Outside of a few others on this list, this is going to be one of the most heavily complimented fragrances on this list. The dry down of this fragrance is so sensual and it's just so pleasant. The opening for me can be a bit too sharp enough that I have to spray it and then kind of go about the day, do a few things, and then leave my house. Because the opening for me is a bit sharp, and I know the people around me are gonna experience that sharpness as well. So when I wear this, I spray, hang out for about 30 minutes or an hour, and then go where I need to go. Just to have that timing right so that the sillage and scent cloud from this fragrance is great. And guys, this fragrance right here can be found on FragranceNet for under $200. Or you can check Vimba down below in my description. It might be even a bit cheaper there. Again, y'all, that is Latent by Parfums de Marly. Now the next fragrance on this list is going to be the niche of the niche. And by that, I mean it's the most undiscovered in a way. It's not one that everyone's talked about. It's one that you can tell they take a lot of time in the carrying of this fragrance in terms of the creation of the bottle down to the scent. Now this fragrance is quite similar to a Tom Ford fragrance as well, but this one, in my opinion, is a bit brighter, it's a bit louder, it lasts a bit longer. With the main notes of tobacco, oud, and vanilla, you get Oud Tobacco. Like I said, it's going to be very similar to Tobacco Oud by Tom Ford, but honestly, it's a bit less synthetic and it's a bit more enjoyable. This is one that absolutely fills the room at 2 sprays, and that would be all that you would need with this fragrance. Any more than that, it's going to be it's just too much. And this can be found on eBay, and I believe on some discounts for about $120. And again, guys, I do suggest, even with this fragrance, getting a decant of it before you go out and get a full bottle. And now this runs in line with the other fragrances in terms of the performance and projection. This also goes for about 6 to 8 hours. And again, you guys, that is Emerald Oud Tobacco. Now, lastly, guys, we have 2 heavy hitters. These are 2 of my favorite fragrances. Number 2 on this list is going to be the Sweet Honey Tobacco fragrance. It's going to be the inviting. It's going to be great for work. It's going to be great for any situation. I've worn it on so many occasions that it's great. The only bad place it might be is going to be going to like the gym, or someplace we're in really, really hot climate, or someplace that's really warm. You don't want to wear this to that. But in terms of being for fall occasions, perfect. With main notes of honey, tobacco, and tonka, you get Xerjoff Naxos. Now guys, what a beautiful, beautiful winter fall scent. It's intoxicating, it's inviting, it's masculine, it's sexy. This is every single one of the check marks. With phenomenal performance, it breaks through smoke, it breaks through just the BS's in there, it breaks through all the Dior Sauvage. This will have you being the most unique smelling person in the room. And for it being a tobacco scent, it's such an inviting, competent fragrance. Composition of the fragrance, the bottle, this is a masterpiece of a fragrance. This will probably be number 1 on a 10 out of 10 fragrance list if I ever make one. So right now on LuckyScent.com, you can get this for about $220. But I would, again, check Vimba fragrances down in the description, just in case I have it there too. But like the rest, guys, this is one that sells out very fast. So when it's in stock, you want to grab it. When it's not, you're going to have to go get yourself a sample. But if there were one on this list that I would say is full bottle worthy, here Here you go. Number one is gonna be Thayer because it's a great scent, no matter what people say. I might say that it's kind of, you know, watered down, it's not a great scent, but when I wear it, it does wonders for my confidence, for just how I feel. And for me, when I think niche fragrances, that's what comes to mind. It makes me go somewhere. It makes me think of a place, an event. It creates certain kind of emotions. Whereas with designers, they don't really do that much. It's like, you know, you smell good, so you know you're gonna be confident. But with this, it creates confidence. It creates that powerful feel to it. Number one, guys, is gonna be Creed Juventus. Now, I could go on about what this fragrance is all about in terms of it being pineapple, smoky, birchy, just hyper masculine, guys, but there's so much here on YouTube about this fragrance that you could just go on for hours and hours and hours about this. This is a 19S31 batch, and some people will say that, you know, batches are watered down, they aren't the same as they used to be, because I thoroughly enjoy wearing this one. And now that fragrance can be found for, you know, $200 all the way to like $1,000. It's all about where you're looking and what batch you're wanting to get. But honestly, you can buy pretty much whatever batch. It's gonna smell like a Juventus. And again, guys, check down at bembafragrances.com down below. They should have a bunch of these, if not all of them. Minus, give or take some of them. But guys, that is my 10 niche fragrances for fall 2020. I hope this video has found you well and that you've been somewhat informed or entertained at least. If you have, do not forget to give me a thumbs up down there and maybe even subscribe. Guys, like I always say, keep it gent, love your scent, and I will see you all next time.